Welcome to the Enchanted Ears podcast.
Where we discuss anything and everything Disney.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Joe, and on today's episode, we are planning the perfect day at Hollywood Studios.
Yes, I'm very excited for this. This is one of my favorite parks.
I was going to say, I feel like Hollywood Studios may be your favorite park. Like, it used to be Animal Kingdom. I feel like, though, with
Then
them,
it was Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I feel like with Animal Kingdom, though, they're getting rid of Dinosaur. Like, there's not as much to do there. You remembered now that you love the Tower of Terror.
Yes.
At Hollywood Studios. So I feel like Hollywood Studios is like making a comeback, and you're always really hype up Hollywood Studios, I guess.
I think that pound for pound, it has more.
Pound for pound, it's like a boxing match.
Yeah,
here.
more like, I mean, you think about the Magic Kingdom and how big it is, and like, Hollywood Studios is not that big, but it has some like very high punching rides.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's like the tail. They
punch above their weight class.
It's like tail of the tape. It's in this corner, weighing in at 500 acres is Animal Kingdom, and in this corner at only 150 acres is Hollywood Studios. I don't know if those acres are right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that,
but it's something crazy
wrong.
like that.
Yeah.
Like Animal Kingdom's way bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're setting up like a tail of the tape boxing match here. But before we get into this prize fight coming up that we're going to get into here, want to cover the Disney news of the week. So I think the big piece of news this week is the announcement that there will be a 7th Disney park. This one's going to be built in Abu Dhabi. And we got some initial concept art. Bob Iger, Josh D'Amaro announced this. The castle is this giant crystal structure. It's really the only thing that kind of really stands out. Otherwise, it's very blue sky. They mentioned that they are in the early development of this, so we are probably 6-7 years away from getting this open. But some major news that I had not heard, any rumors or anything about this. It's kind of, I feel like, came out of nowhere that all of a sudden they're going to build another Disney park.
Yeah, I think that this is an interesting one. I mean, I don't know, like I don't know. It's a kind of an odd thing. Like, it's hard to almost even comment on because it's just so far outside of, I think, what I would have expected. I mean, the Middle East is, I guess, relatively speaking, kind of close to Paris. So like there is a park near there. And then you think like over in Asia, you have 2 parks over in Hong Kong and Shanghai.
Yeah, you mentioned location. They talked about that this is a 4-hour flight for 1/3 of the world's population. So I think this is definitely a play to pull more from India. You're right. You're right. Europe is close. Asia's still relatively close. So I think this is a way to expand. I think the big thing, I mean, obviously, fans, I feel like, had mixed reactions to this. I think the biggest reaction was, why is Disney spending money to build a 7th park when Walt Disney World, Disneyland, whatever, could use more love and attention? And I think
unrelated.
Yeah, and really what's happening is this is much like a Tokyo Disneyland, where Disney is not owning this park. They have no ownership in it. They are not putting up any capital to build this park. This is all getting funded by the Morale Group, which has built other theme parks on the island there in Abu Dhabi. They built the Ferrari Land and the Warner Brothers Land, SeaWorld, all that sort of stuff. So they build parks, they license them. So basically Disney Imagineers are going to help build this, and they'll get a license to this. But I think to the casual fan, and I think this is kind of where maybe a negative impact to Disney is, I think there's a lot of geopolitical stuff of the location and everything, don't have to get into. But I think the casual fan that's going to Walt Disney World, the 20 million people that go there that aren't all diehard Disney fans, are going to go, well, this ride keeps breaking down because Disney's spending money over there.
Yeah.
And I think that's where there's a risk that I think Disney is discounting a little bit, that it's just like, hey, this is costing us nothing. It's going to be a benefit. But I think you're going to have a lot of your casual fans that are like, why is it taking us 6 years to get a new attraction here? Because you're spending all this money over there, even though they aren't.
Right. I think that one of the big advantages of this would be like the R&D. Like, so, you and I were having a conversation about this last night, and it was like, you think over in Tokyo, they developed some new ride technology, some trackless ride.
All the new
movements
all the new animatronics. I almost
right.
said animaltronics.
Yeah, I mean they are probably a lot of them are animals.
Some of them are animals, but yeah,
you
the
know,
new animatronics that they
yeah,
have.
new
Yeah.
animatronics and things, and those things. I mean, Disney does tend to get their hands on that, and they're able to use it. So in that way, it's actually a really positive thing
Well,
because they can spend somebody else's
Yeah.
money to do some of their work.
I think that's how Disney's looking at it.
Yeah.
I think Tokyo is a really good deal for them. You're right. They get somebody else to spend a lot of money, R&D, very expensive top of the line rides that they can then transfer that technology over to their other parks. I think they see this as the same thing. Hey, they're going to pay us to develop cutting edge technology. They're talking about this is going to be completely integrated with technology. It's going to be the smartest, top of the line, high tech Disney park out there. And then they can bring that stuff stateside. Plus, they're just going to essentially get a royalty, a licensing play from this and have to put out no money. So I think from Disney, they're looking at bottom line, hey, this is going to be great. Again, I just think they're discounting when any sort of negative publicity comes out about this or any sort of negative publicity comes out about the American parks, people are immediately going to point, well, they shouldn't be spending money here, even though they're not. And I think they're going to have to fight that. And I think that's going to be maybe a little bit of an uphill battle for their marketing team.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be tough because even though there are things that they're probably not controlling, their name will be associated with it. Just think about like back to when the World Cup was in Qatar or Qatar, depending on how you want to pronounce that. But there were some like labor issues going on there. And again, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there are a lot of fringe things that could potentially happen when this isn't in their control. And they're not the ones building it that, they might get pulled into.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely tenuous, I think, for them.
It's a big risk
with the potential of a big reward.
But yeah, it's like I think we'll see. Was the reward worth it? Again, we have a long way to go. This thing's not even fully designed out. So does this maybe fall through? Universal tried to build it was in Dubai land. So different developer and things, but they had talked about a park that kind of fell through. That was during the recession and everything. So remains to be seen. But again, very interesting, kind of like out of left field, shocking news. I think the other thing that was interesting is Josh D'Amaro was there introducing it. And so is he kind of in the lead now for CEO? Because he's ushering in this new park. He's the one front and center announcing this deal. Does this kind of make him the leader of the pack?
I can't remember what it was, but a while back, and he was central to announcing something else. I can't remember what it was.
He went to some conference instead of Bob Iger. They sent him.
Right.
So, yeah,
I feel like it's starting to look to me like he is the front runner for this position. He has really good like public opinion. People tend to seem to really like him.
It's interesting. They went with Chapek, who was the parks guy. Did not work out. Again, it seems like they're leaning towards Josh D'Amaro. Who knows? I mean, because maybe it doesn't end up being him, but it does seem like they're kind of pushing him. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, so let's get into our main topic here, planning our perfect day over at Hollywood Studios. So for me, I'm going to start out my day rope dropping Slinky Dog Dash. And I'm going to rope drop Slinky Dog Dash because I love this ride so much. And I was thinking about this, and I think part of it is the fact that you don't like it and you never want to ride it. Like, not that I like it because you don't.
I mean, I think that sounds plausible.
But I think it's because you never want to ride it. And so I feel like it's like a special treat every time I get to go on it. It's like when your parents would like take you for ice cream when you were a kid, like after the doctor or something. It's like, hey, I got a special treat because I went to the doctor and I got a shot. It's like, it's that like rare moment that you get of like, hey, this is extra special because it doesn't happen all the time. We're always riding Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We're always riding, Smuggler's Run or whatever. But it's rare we get to ride Slinky Dog Dash. One, again, because you're not a huge fan of it. But two, because it's usually like a 2-hour wait. Like if you don't go immediately in the morning, it's a very long wait.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's one you have to rope drop. So I'm rope dropping it and riding Slinky Dog Dash because that is going to set the perfect tone for the rest of the day.
So this is you by yourself. So you can do this whenever you're down there by yourself.
It's my perfect day.
I was going to say, because if I were with you and did this, it would ruin the rest of the day for me.
I don't think so. I think if you wrote it first thing of the day, really?
Last time I wrote it, it was it was the domino that made me feel bad for the rest of the day.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That was in the middle of the day. I think first thing in the morning, I don't think it's going to cause a problem. But that's how I'm starting my day. Because
that would be like saying, you know what we should do? We should start with Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Guardians
Cosmic Rewind.
Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah, but I was thinking about it because I'm like
or Everest. I think Everest might kill me too.
It just feels so irrational how much I love Slinky Dog Dash.
It is irrational.
It's like something about the child in me loves
being inside Slinky Dog. I mean, I think the theming's amazing.
Yeah, like the play set and the theming and everything.
Yeah, the theming's amazing.
And I do think there's something like it's a launch coaster. Like it is somewhat of a
that's exciting, yeah.
Like tamer family coaster. Like there's no inversions in terms of like intensity. Like there's no inversions. You're not going backwards. You're not spinning. But there's a launch in it, so it's a lot of fun. And yeah, just I guess it is like the ride vehicle being in Slinky Dog. But I was thinking about that. I'm like, I think it is because it's a special treat. Like a lot of the stuff we do that we love at Disney, we do every time we go. But like Slinky Dog's one thing that I don't do every time I go. So it is a little special treat for me.
Okay.
So how are you starting your day?
Probably just
sitting on a bench while I ride Slinky Dog.
No, I am not. I'm not, because if this is my perfect day, we're going where I want to go first. Okay. Okay, so I think that I would have to rope drop and run to Rise of the Resistance.
Okay, I have Rise of the Resistance later in my schedule, and you'll see why. There's a method to my madness.
No,
here.
This is bad.
Okay,
we've learned this.
Okay, no, go ahead. But go ahead.
So
you're gonna rope drop.
All right. So remember when we did our VIP tour, we tried to ride Rise of the Resistance, and our guide said it usually breaks down in the afternoon. So I would not want to save it till later in your day. I want to start first thing in the morning when I know my weight is going to be worth it. And that, I just want to go over to Batu to start anyway. Okay. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to ride that. I'm going to ride Smuggler's Run. I'm going to walk around. I'm dressed in Star Wars garb, by the way.
Oh, okay. See, this is...
Yes.
You know what I feel like when we've done these other ones, we've not talked about...
What we're wearing.
That's
true. I'm probably bounding in all the other ones.
I was going to say, because I feel like in my perfect day, the outfit's not important to me. Like, I'm not thinking about outfit. But yeah, I feel like... Yeah, you're probably bounding in something. Maybe a lounge fly. Like, we haven't talked about that. So, okay, so explain. So you're going to do a Star Wars bound?
Yeah, I'm doing like a full on, like, yeah, I'm going to be like...
You can't do like a full on outfit, a costume, because they won't let you do that necessarily.
No, but I'm like, I mean... Like whenever when we went to the Star Cruiser Hotel, like I'm wearing something like...
So you're an original character. Well, that's what I was going to ask. Are you going to do like a Bo-Katan bound? Or are you going to be original? You're going to be like an original...
I really liked dressing as a Sith when I went there, so...
Okay.
I might even reuse...
Ventress, maybe? You could do like a Ventress.
Ventress is hard because...
Like Ventress inspired.
Yeah, I mean, I could. Ventress is hard to communicate because most people who know who she is think of her as bald or with short blonde hair.
I also will say, I mean, if you dress as a Sith, people could just confuse you for like gothic look too. So I mean, it's... No,
I mean, I'm thinking like I'm wearing like somebody has done my hair. I have like little space buns.
Oh, I thought you were going for like a headpiece. I thought you were gonna be like a Queen Amidala headpiece here. Or something.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm doing like little space buns, and then I'm doing
so like a dark Princess Leia, like a dark Princess Leia.
Sure.
That would be a good twist. I'm just trying to think of...
Yeah.
Like an interesting twist on this.
Yeah, it's.
But you're just gonna be an original character. Okay.
Yeah, I wanna, and then I'm going to build a lightsaber as well.
Okay.
So
that's kind of your morning. So like you're spending basically like...
Yes.
You're rope dropping, getting up early, and spending a lot of your time basically just exploring all of Batu.
Yeah. And
running both rides, lightsaber build. That's good.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun. I didn't even write that down, but now I'm very happy with that.
That's a great morning.
It is.
Continuing my morning, since I'm in Toy Story Land, I'm going to hop over to Midway Mania because that's a fun attraction. That's
It
also
is.
another one that we don't ride a lot of. Also, because this is my best day ever, I am going to be able to magically unlock all the secret
all
levels.
the secret games.
I'm going to watch the TikTok that tells me how to unlock them. One time, I'm going to remember all 5 levels or whatever, how to unlock them all. It's all going to work. I may score so many points, I may come off that ride, and there may be cast members lined up to shake my hand.
Oh, I thought you were going to say to arrest you.
No, not to arrest me. I've scored so many points. I've gotten the highest point total in the history of Midway Mania that there's a line of cast members to congratulate and give me a key to Toy Story Land.
Okay,
like
no,
the mayor
this
giving
has
a
gone
key to
into
the
like
city.
serious fantasy because
Yeah.
okay, we're saying our perfect day, but it's like a regular, like realistic day, not like fictionalized. So because
Okay,
like you could say my perfect day is to have a VIP tour so I can go to the front of every line in Hollywood Studios and then I'm not spending all day there.
I failed to mention I fell asleep on Midway Mania and I dreamt all that.
Well, that's good because I then would stand a chance at beating you.
Yes.
Assuming I'm there with you because your perfect day start did not include me.
No, it did. I would like you to join me on Slinky Dog Dash. You said you don't want to.
So you want me to be ill all day?
I don't want you to be ill. You can wait for me, okay? And then we'll go ride Midway Mania. I think after that, I'm heading over to Runaway Railway.
Okay.
Again, all this stuff's kind of pretty close. You know, Toy Story Land, Runaway Railway, because that's a great ride. That's like a super fun ride. I know a lot of people really miss the Great Movie Ride. That is something I don't really remember that much. Like I was on it as a kid. I think we rode it like one of the first times we went back as adults, but that was a while ago now. So I don't necessarily have the same like affinity for it. So I'm not as mad like, oh, they got rid of the Great Movie Ride. But Runaway Railway, it's so fun. The pre-show with the perfect picnic song, how you enter the cartoon, like just, you know, the secondary storylines with Pluto and like Goofy riding the train. Like it's just a lot of fun. The song's great. I really love that attraction. It's a great attraction. Like they did a good job for the first attraction for Mickey Mouse.
So, all right, I probably shouldn't repeat this because I have no idea if it's true or not, but I saw an Instagram reel today about Mickey and Minnie's, and the big takeaway from it is that the woman who voices Minnie Mouse is the woman who like the older woman who was married to the guy who voiced Mickey
in the attraction though, because that's based on the shorts, and I know they have different voices for Mickey at least.
Yeah, it said that like I don't know if she was the one who actually. It sounded like it said that she voiced it in the attraction.
Okay.
But again, maybe it was just referencing her as just a person. And
right.
I only watched it one time. But the interesting thing was it mentioned that it said that like he used to play the ukulele for her, and they'd they'd sing together.
I did see that.
Did you see that? And like so that's a nod at the very
yeah.
end that he's playing for her, and I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. If that's like why they did that.
Yeah, there's a ton of like little Easter eggs in that, even like the 1923, and like there's a lot of stuff around like Disney. Like it there's so much to look at in there, and just so many Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Like it's just a great.
And it
attraction.
depends on what car you have, what you're able to see.
Yeah, it completely changes. So that's great. So this is going to take me to lunch. I'm going to have lunch at the Sci-Fi Drive-In Theater. We've not been there in a while, so this is like somewhere out of left field of like, this is my favorite restaurant. Not the case at all. You know, like it definitely has mixed reviews. They have a new menu, which I think is one of the reasons why like I want to go back. Like the menu's been updated recently, so I want to kind of like give it another shot. But the one thing about Hollywood Studios is all of their restaurants are so well themed. Like I feel like this is the one park where you have a lot of really great themed options. So you have the Sci-Fi Drive-In Theater, which it's like, you know, they play like old like fake B movies. You're sitting in cars like you're at a drive-through. You know, there's 50s Primetime Diner, which is kind of set in the 50s. Mama Melrose, which is closed, but like that was a, you know, themed Italian restaurant kind of over in Muppets Courtyard. Like I don't, thinking about it, like in the other parks, I don't know that there are, that many themed restaurants like this. I guess Magic Kingdom, has like Be Our Guest, and they have the Skipper Canteen, so they do have some. But like, there's just a lot of like really interesting and like cool themes. So I'm gonna go to the sci-fi dining theater there, and I'm getting the Phantasmic dining package. That's another reason why I'm going here, because it's part of the Phantasmic dining package. So this way, I already know I'm going to end my day at Phantasmic, and I'll have kind of like the preferred seating, so I don't have to go super early to get to the show. And I'll get to try this restaurant out again, which again, hey, the food's okay. The food's okay. It's a cool atmosphere, cool vibe, but I know I got my seating for Phantasmic.
I mean, that's a smart way of doing it.
Yeah.
So I think that my morning is probably going to take me up to, I'd say, probably around lunchtime.
I think so. You have a pretty full morning. You could spend an hour in Galaxy's Edge. You could spend 8 hours in Galaxy's Edge.
Well, okay, listen, if I also would make sure I would try to catch the Lieutenant Agnon show that they have as well. I always enjoy that.
Interact with the stormtroopers walking around. Kylo Ren. Yeah.
So I'm walking around the land and interacting with the characters.
That's what I'm saying. You can really spend any amount of time you want to there. Like
right.
it is really built. It's interesting. It's one of the few lands that has, I feel like, enough stuff to kind of look at that you could go through it very quickly, but you could spend a lot of time there. Like Pandora has it, but there's no shows. Right. There's really nothing keeping you in there past walking through that. Same with like Toy Story Land. I guess you have Avengers Campus over on the West Coast, but at Disney World, yeah, that's kind of like the one you can really kind of decide how long you want to be there.
Okay. And then from there, I've worked up a good hunger. I'm going to the Hollywood Brown Derby.
Okay.
To eat. We've never eaten there, but we always say we want to eat there. And I cannot believe, unless this is your dinner option, I cannot believe that you bypass this on your perfect day.
Do they have chocolate cake?
Because we've said
cake?
We need to eat there. So I'm probably going to get the pan roasted halibut because it makes me think of Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
And then
is there cake?
And then for dinner, it would be really tough. I would potentially get the creme brulee.
For dinner? You mean dessert?
Yeah, whatever.
I was like, you're going to have halibut? That's the appetizer? Okay.
Or I might get the decadent chocolate cake, which is a towering chocolate cake, dark chocolate mousse with whipped ganache. So
how many layers? How many layers are we talking?
It does not say how many layers.
Just give me a number.
I don't know. I'm making it up. 12.
12? Oh, that's a good number of layers. I was thinking 17, but I'll take 12.
Yeah, and I'm not sharing any of it with you. You probably would want your own piece anyway.
No, that's huge. That's probably a huge piece of cake. How much does it cost? $15?
$14.
Oh, okay. That's actually not too bad. I thought it'd be $15.
Wait. $15 was a high price. $14 not too bad.
I thought 15. So anything under that, I'm saving $1.
So yeah, that's where I'm eating. See where I'm eating lunch. And then I'm gonna go ride Mickey and Minnie's after that. And I really like shopping in Hollywood Studios.
There is a lot of good shops there.
I'm going to go walk through the shops while my stomach kind of settles and all my food settles.
So you're doing that before Mickey and Minnie's then? Because you said you're going to eat and then go to Mickey and Minnie's.
I said I was going to go to Mickey and Minnie's. Yeah, I don't.
And then you'll shop. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
because it's not like Mickey and Minnie's is that.
Yeah, it's not that crazy.
Yeah, it's not really that crazy. And then from there, once my stomach has had a chance to settle, I think you know where I'm going.
I was waiting to see, because sometimes you do forget about this attraction.
Oh yeah. No, I'm going to Tower.
Okay.
Then I'm going to Tower. I might even ride it twice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might just get off and get back on, because it's gonna scratch that itch for me the first time, and the second time I'm just really gonna enjoy it. Just really savor it.
Yeah. The interesting thing about the Tower of Terror at Walt Disney World, I always forget about that fifth dimension scene.
Where you're like going through it.
And it's like, it always takes me by surprise. And I'm always like, oh yeah, this is really cool. Like this part is really cool. Like, because the ride is basically like every other Tower of Terror, kind of straightforward. But yeah, when you go, I'm like, oh, this is neat. Like you forget how cool that is.
I just think it is a really well themed
It is.
ride. Like the courtyard is really cool, and then you go inside, and the dilapidated hotel look is really interesting. The little Easter eggs, it's like the letters that dropped off that say like take the stairs, is really cool. And then there's like that little pre-show that like gets you prepared for it. I feel like one of the few only other rides that has something like up to those kind of standards is Haunted Mansion, which is also like a top tier ride for us. So I think, and like they're both along the same lines of like creepy.
I do think Tower of Terror, the queue is a little bit more, it's not necessarily themed, but because of where it's situated, you are kind of away from the rest of the park. Like when you're in Haunted Mansion and you're in the queue, and if it's a long wait, you're almost in Liberty Square, and you're kind of like, you can see the riverboat, you can see like, you can hear the park. Like there's a lot of crowds right there. Where once you go back to Tower of Terror, you're back there. Like it's quiet. You can't hear the park as much. You know, it's themed to basically be the gardens of the hotel and the tower, but all you can really see is that tower once you're back there. And it really does like draw your attention to it, and kind of, even though the queue's not themed, it is themed in a way. And it is an interesting thing of like how Disney, now the ride itself I know is expensive, but like you don't have to put a ton into theming if you do it right. You know, like you can, like to your point, it is super well themed. I mean, that lobby area, it's not like you really walk through it that fast, but like you think about that, you know, versus a lot of other attractions where there's like no theming at all. So, like you don't have to have, you know, Rise of the Resistance level pre-shows to have a really good themed attraction. You know, you can kind of do it. You just have to, you know, if they focus on the right things, it leaves an impact.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's super important to run over there and do that. So then at that point, I've ridden a lot of my favorite attractions over at Hollywood Studios. I'm trying to remember, does Hollywood Studios, that also has, is that the one that has like the Frozen show? Like there's character shows or like the villain, or is
that's the Frozen sing along? Yep.
Yeah.
And then the villain show, Unhappily Ever After, that's going to be opening.
Yeah.
In
So
a couple weeks here.
So yeah, depending on, you know, when we do it, I mean, ideally for me, I love the Frozen sing along show. I would definitely see that.
Very funny. There's a lot of humor in that show that you do not expect.
Right. Right. Like I feel like Hollywood Studios has some like interesting like entertainment over there.
There's a lot of stuff that flies under the radar.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would definitely make sure I do that. And then I'd love to see this villains show. So yeah, I'm partaking in the shows and just really enjoying all of the vibes there. And then I am just really excited about Phantasmic from that point forward.
So that's how you're closing out your day. So that's kind of
yeah.
taking you through the afternoon.
I'm thinking,
dinner anywhere?
Oh yeah. I'm going to the Backlot Express. So
okay,
and this
is
is
light dinner then.
Yeah, because I figure I ate probably a lot for lunch, which is why I intentionally put it in the middle of the day, and that way we can just like subsist off of snacks and then have a lighter dinner. I love they have like a I can't remember what the kind of salad, but it has like black beans I think in it.
It's like a Southwest.
Yeah, I think it's a Southwest chicken salad or
Yeah.
something. But it's a really nice quality salad. I think probably the nicest quality salad you can get from a quick serve anywhere on Disney property. I feel like they have like, I feel like it's like romaine lettuce. It's not even just like, you know, iceberg. And it's just like a nice salad. So I think that's what I'm eating. Yeah, for dinner. I kind of forgot that I should probably eat.
Yeah, you forgot to eat again. Yeah, I'm with you. There's a lot of shows. So I'm gonna go to the Indiana Jones stunt show.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I
Because
want to do that too.
That's another one. Like you brought the Frozen sing along, which I kind of forgot about. That's a very like. There's not a lot of people that can go into the Frozen sing along one. Like that's difficult to get into. The stunt show, obviously, that's like a huge outdoor
place,
auditorium.
yeah.
So there's a lot of people can go. So there's a lot of people that can go view that. But yeah, but like I feel like the shows, like the Frozen show, you'd be like, I don't want to. I'm not, I don't have kids or whatever. Like I don't need to go see that. But like there's a lot of humor in it. Like that's really like don't be sleeping on the Frozen sing along show or even like the Indiana Jones stunt show. People might be like, oh, this has been here 30 years. Like I've seen it before, but it's always so neat to see the behind the scenes, especially if you haven't seen it in a couple years or a few times since you've gone. To like, you're just like, oh yeah, like this is really cool that it shows you like how they make the movies.
Yeah.
Even the Beauty and the Beast show, like even if it's like, oh, I know Beauty and the Beast, it's really well done. You know, the transformation of the Beast is always really well done. Like Hollywood Studios has a lot of stuff that I feel like people sleep on, and they don't give it enough credit. And you're right, like there's pound for pound, there's a lot of stuff at Hollywood Studios that you really don't think about, and it's really well done. And I think that's why a lot of these shows and attractions and stuff have lasted so long, because they are really well done, you know, at the core of it. So so I'm definitely gonna go see the stunt show, because I do love the behind the scenes of the movies, that sort of stuff.
I'm stealing that off of you too. I want to go there too.
Okay. Now this is where my 4-dimensional chest comes in, because I said I'm rope dropping Slinky Dog Dash. As you've noticed, I've not gone to Galaxy's Edge yet. I did not run to Rise of the Resistance in the morning, because I am taking that tip of Rise of the Resistance breaks down every afternoon, and I am banking on my perfect day that I timed it just right, that Rise broke down in the middle of the afternoon.
That Rise rises again, and you can just jump into line.
As I exit the Indiana Jones stunt show, Rise of the Resistance comes back up. There's no line, or very short line, because it's been down and they cleared the line, and I get right in, and I don't wait more than maybe 20 or 30 minutes. So that's my game plan. You were like, oh no, it's going to be down in the afternoon. You're not going to get to ride it. No. I'm going to time it perfectly to go ride it after it breaks down.
Okay. That's really a big if.
That is a high risk, high reward play, because you're right. There's a risk it's broken and it doesn't come back up. There's a risk you time it wrong. I will say the other thing is, if you get in line and it does break down, they give you a lightning lane to come back, or they give you a lightning lane for any attraction, so you could use it anywhere else. But if it does come back up later in the day, you can basically get back on it right away, because it's a lightning lane. So again, high risk, high reward. I'm willing to take the risk on it. But after that, I don't necessarily need to do Smuggler's Run, but I'm going to spend some time in Galaxy's Edge as well, because again, I think that is like the marketplace is a really cool place to explore and just like see the shops. The cast members there are so great, like in character, like they are, citizens of Batuu. And so it's really great to kind of like interact with them and just see what they have going on. The stormtroopers, Rey might be out. Who knows? Like Mandalorian might pop out. I'm with you though. I want to build a lightsaber. I've done this before. It's been a while. It was a great experience. One of the best experiences I've ever had at a theme park. I would love to do this again. And so I think, if I'm planning out like, hey, I'm going to go to Hollywood Studios and have the best day ever, like you have to do everything. Like really immerse yourself in the storytelling, in the experience, and go make a lightsaber. Plus they have like new parts and pieces and stuff, so it'll kind of be new. So I'm 100% doing that.
I was just thinking, I'm like, ooh, do I go over to Doc Ondar's and also get Ahsoka Tano's lightsabers?
Oh, okay.
Because I'm like thinking about it, like, oh, who's like, if I were gonna get a character's lightsaber, Anakin's it would be cool to have Anakin's, right? But it's just a regular lightsaber. But then you get Ahsoka's, you get two. Yeah. And they're like, I think they're like different sizes. Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah, one's shorter than the other. Right.
One. So like, it would just be, that would be kind of a cool set to like, so I could dual wield. Yeah. So.
All right. Yeah. So maybe you said you like the shopping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't say what you're gonna buy. So okay. You could get a Doc Ondar's. You're going back there. But yeah, I'm going to build lightsaber. I think the only other, ride Tower of Terror. That's probably the only thing I haven't ridden that I would want to ride. Mm-hmm. So ride Tower of Terror, and it's perfect because it's over by Fantasmic. Mm-hmm. So again, kind of time it out. Go ride Tower of Terror at night, which again gives you, or kind of at dusk, which is then just going to add to the theming. Ooh, when they light the tower up. Sets. Yeah, the tower starts lighting up, and it just has another completely different mood and vibe to it. So gonna ride it then, and then gonna go to Fantasmic again. I did the dining package, so I have my seat. So I'm good to go. And closing out the day with Fantasmic.
That sounds like a great day.
Yeah. Interesting, we both ended at Fantasmic. We kind of took different paths to get there.
Well, I mean, you optimized yours for location. I did not. Some of it.
Well, I optimized it for location. I also optimized it for the high risk, high reward strategy of playing on Rise of the Resistance, breaking down in the middle of the day, them clearing the entire queue, and then being at the right place at the right time when they reopen the ride, and you can be like one of the first couple hundred people in line.
It's a strange tactic for you, considering that you're not much of a risk taker. You're very much like more of a let's play it safe kind of guy.
Not at Disney. I'm all about the risk at Disney. Well, it's interesting. I mean, like, we've been on Rise of the Resistance enough. I love it. I think it's the best thing Disney's ever done. But I also feel like I'm not waiting 3 hours for it. And I think it's kind of crazy to pay like $30 or whatever it is for a lightning lane. I get like if this is your one trip and you want to make sure you ride it, but we go enough that I'm like, I'm not paying money for it and I don't want to wait that long in line. So that's why I feel confident in I will take this risk on it that I can maybe catch it at the right time, because if I don't, and I don't get to ride it, I'm not going to be disappointed that I didn't ride it. So I think that's the thing. Like, if I was disappointed, then I would definitely make sure that I want to ride it, but I think I'd be okay not riding it.
I'll just never tell you the odds that that's going to happen.
What are the odds? There's odds on that?
No, never tell me the odds. It's Han Solo quote.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
was working it in there.
I was going to say, I thought there was like actual odds. I saw you on your phone. Were you looking up the quote?
Yeah, because I couldn't remember. Like,
I thought you were looking up like
the odds, yeah.
How frequently does it go down? And there was like, I mean, I could see somebody
calculating
doing stats and odds on everything happening at Disney. So that's why I thought like there were literal like odds. When you said it, I was like, yeah, it feels like a line, but okay.
Yeah. Or I could tell you, I have a bad feeling about this.
Who's that one from?
It's also Han Solo. I don't know. I looked.
That feels so generic.
It is very genetic. Like, it is very genetic. It's very generic.
Anybody could say that. So, but I think that's why I'm willing to do this, because if I would not be disappointed if it didn't work out for me and I didn't get to ride it.
Says the man who's like, Rise is my favorite ride.
That's what I said. It is my favorite. I think it's the best thing I've ever done. But we go frequently enough that I know, hey, I can just get it next time. Like, it's maybe not in the cards this time. You know, it's one of those things of like, you know, what's the max amount of time you're going to wait? You know, like how long would you wait for Tower of Terror? Like, what's the max amount of time you would wait?
An hour.
Exactly. So like,
if an hour for Tower.
There you go. So if you go and it's 2 hours, you're going to be like, maybe a little disappointed, but you're going to be like, it's okay. I know I don't want to wait 2 hours for it. I'll come back and maybe try again. And again, you kind of play that game knowing maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. So yeah. I'm kind of okay with that too. So
sounds good.
Yeah, but overall, I think pretty good days. Hopefully it helped our listeners kind of like plan out some things, maybe some tactics. Maybe you want to try the Rise of the Resistance tactic in your day on your trip. If you do, let us know how it works. Let us know what the odds were. We'll calculate all that.
I don't know, though. You're not ever supposed to tell the odds, though.
Oh, okay. Well, don't tell us the odds then. But we'd love to hear like what your perfect day would be like. Like, what are your go-to attractions at Hollywood Studios? Where's your go-to places to eat? If you're watching this on YouTube, let us know in the comments below. You can let us know on Instagram. We're at Enchanted Ears Podcast over there. But that wraps up the show for this week. I want to thank everybody again for listening. If you've not done so, please leave us a rating or a review. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps, and we really appreciate it.
Thanks for lending us your ears.
Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you here next Monday.
Bye-bye.